You are now locked into the Red and Blue Rivalry podcast, the podcast where we talk all things San Francisco 49ers and Dallas Cowboys.
My name's Eric Hernandez, and I'm repping the faithful.
And I am Philip Enriquez, repping it for America's team.
And America's team started the Mike McCarthy era off with the loss in Los Angeles, falling to the Rams 17-20. So there was some calls, some decisions that, decided that game. And I just wanted to get your impressions and your thoughts of the Mike McCarthy era and specifically going for it on fourth down.
I miss Jason Garrett, man.
Oh, that's an outlandish statement.
Let's start this podcast off.
That's crazy.
I'm starting to miss Jason Garrett. That's not a good thing.
No, that's not a Hello Darkness, My Old Friend song
that
you play in the background.
Exactly the song that needs to be playing in the back of this podcast right now. Yeah, I think Mike McCarthy played right into Sean McVay's hands at the end of the game. I mean, it's the fourth quarter. We're looking at a 3rd and 6, and you're running Ezekiel Elliott out of the shotgun for a couple of yards. I mean, I know that he's calling that play with the mentality of we're going for it on fourth down.
Yeah.
But to me, you're handling both of those downs wrong. Get the fucking first down on third down.
Yeah.
If you're going to get it. Why are you playing this half-ass two for one? You know what I mean? If you're really, truly aggressive and you're truly playing with an aggressive mindset, why not get that first down on third down? Then you don't have to worry about fourth down.
Yeah.
Why play into the defense's hands? Why? So that's a big disappointment, but fine. You take your 3 yards. It's 4th and 3. At that point, I think you have to take the 3 points. You're down by 3. Tie it up. Put some pressure on the Rams offense to have to come back and score.
Yep.
The Cowboys stopped the Rams the last 4 drives of the game. The defense had kind of caught up to that offense in the second half. So I think there was reason to believe you could have stopped that Rams offense, and you had 2 other possessions to at least get a field goal to win the game. So in my opinion, I think Mike McCarthy fucking blew it.
Oh. And I think the only thing that's kind of scary about that is that you could understand if that was a rookie head coach. If he's the first time being a head coach, this is a veteran head coach who's won a Super Bowl making that mistake. I didn't like the play call because I'm like, let your receivers go get first downs. Why are they running routes underneath the sticks?
Right.
Why? There's no reason for that. Give Dak like a clear lane to run if he's going to run. So he has that option,
Yeah.
They ran crossers, and I don't know if they thought they were going to get man coverage, and that's why they ran it, but they didn't. They got zone. That guy was waiting for CeeDee Lamb. And then you look at, I think, on defense, which was interesting, was like you said, it kind of looked like they were having some trouble, but they really didn't give up a lot of points. They really held their own, especially kind of new system and everything. And the one guy that kind of made plays that was really eye-popping was Aldon Smith. I mean, he looked like he was the best player on your defense.
Why is the guy that hasn't played a down of football in like 4 or 5 years the best player on your defense? These Cowboys never cease to amaze me.
No.
Never.
I mean,
it's not always in a good way, though.
No.
That's what is so... I want to pull my damn hair out.
Yeah. Watching
my team play. And that's no different than the Jason Garrett era. And that's what's so disappointing about this start to the Mike McCarthy era, is the fact that it didn't look very much different, and it sure as hell doesn't feel very much different after week 1. I'll say this, though. On defense for the Rams, Aaron Donald had a hell of a game. He only had 1 sack, but the pressures were there all game long. I mean, there's a play where he's knocking down like 3 offensive linemen in one play, getting to Dak.
Yeah.
Hitting Dak. I mean, he's throwing Connor Williams. I mean, it looked like a WrestleMania, dude, where it's like backflipping Connor Williams, clotheslining Zach Martin.
He was like Austin in the Rumble. He was clearing the ring.
He was in the Royal Rumble clearing the ring.
Yeah.
And hitting Dak. And so, Dak didn't have I think Dak played well, but Dak didn't have a great game. But I really can't blame him because the protection wasn't there. With the exception of Old Faithful, Tyron Smith, that whole offensive line, in my opinion, had a very, very bad game.
Yeah, that right tackle issue, you guys want to get that squared away pretty quickly because that's an issue,
Undrafted free agent, dude, starting at right tackle.
No. And then, of course, I think what hurt more than the loss in that game, because you can bounce back from a loss, it was the loss on the field of Blake Jarwin, the tight end.
Yeah, going forward, that hurts. That's one that's going to sting way past just that Sunday night loss. because Blake Jarwin's been that up-and-coming tight end for the last 2 years, and Jason Witten's kind of hogged up the snaps and hogged up all the reps at tight end in practice. And you really thought this is the year that Jarwin's going to be able to spread his wings, and it's really unfortunate that he's not getting past week 1. Right now, I think that's a big letdown for the Cowboys this year.
Yeah, that has to hurt because you got to figure he was going to be in the plans. There were some positives in that game. Again, if DeMarcus Lawrence can get his head right, him and Aldon Smith will be a nice little combo, a tandem. Of course, we also have the injury to, Alvy.
Leighton Van Der
Esch. Yeah, LVS. I mean,
broken collarbone, man.
I mean, is he the new Sean Lee?
Sean Lee 2.0 at this point.
Yeah. The one thing I will say is CeeDee Lamb looked good.
He did look good. Bright spots, if we're looking for bright spots, Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott, I think he finished with 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. But the type of plays that he made were eye-popping. Like, there's one where there was 4 or 5 Rams defenders in front of him.
Is that the one he scored the touchdown?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he still made that play. I mean, that's something that you're not going to see from anybody else in this league.
No.
Zeke I think he's down to his 2016 weight.
Yeah, he looked way more explosive.
Yeah, so
way more powerful.
That's the Ezekiel Elliott that, I'm happy to see in 2020. I hope that, he can get back on that good foot. Maybe they got to run the ball a little more. Again, I'm sounding like Jason Garrett. Maybe you got to run the ball a little more. I know a lot of people in Cowboys Twitter and everything are complaining about how the Cowboys run on first down, but you know what? Maybe, that was the formula that got you the number 1 seed in 2016. Yeah. An explosive Zeke.
Yeah, if you can run the ball, you look no farther than the NFC Championship of last year.
Right.
If you run the ball and it works, you keep doing it. Make them stop you.
Exactly.
But, there's some positives for you guys. I did like that. And again, at the end of the day, when I picked the Rams, I didn't pick the Rams because they were the better team. I didn't pick the Rams because I didn't think, thought they were going to go farther than you guys. I picked the Rams because it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall. Opening a new stadium, McVay's kind of his rebirth. I always thought that the Dallas defense was going to come off to a slow start. But, if you had to encapsulate everything from this game, what do you think about everything that's happened now and how does it project moving forward?
I think it was a little alarming that the LA Rams were able to keep this defense, off balance, keeping them guessing. I'm very concerned going forward with Jalen Smith at linebacker. They moved him over to weak side to try to free him up, right? Not have anybody in front of him so he doesn't have to shed any blocks. He could just kind of be that rover on the defense, running around, making hits. And the dude himself out of plays. This Jalen Smith, bottom line, he's on my shit list. He is on my shit list. I think if he wasn't that Notre Dame player, I don't think he'd be on the team, man. I think he'd be a backup. The 2018, he played amazing. But outside of that, he hasn't shown me anything. And at this point, I think he's the biggest concern on defense because you try to protect him by moving him from the inside to the weak side, and he's still not getting it done. He's still getting fooled on defense. So to me, I want to see what Nolan can do going forward. Can he get Jalen Smith playing to the way he played in 2018? Because if he can't, I hate to say it, but there's just too many question marks on defense for this team to win this division.